Hi, this is Kat with Beadaholique, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create a link bracelet using these beautiful coin beads from Raven's Journey. Now I'm going to be using two different styles here, and you can see that I've already set up many of my beads, so I'm going to show you how to do one of them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to link them all together using this great little slide clasp. So this is a nice little slide tube clasp, and it's going to help separate my little strands there. So the first thing I want to do is take one of my eye pins here, and I'm going to be using my round nose pliers. So let's go ahead and slip on our bead, slide that down, and then go ahead and take your round nose pliers. And what we're going to do is we're just going to make a nice little simple wire loop facing our little bead there, wrap it up and over the top, and bring it across. And if you need to, because that little piece is kind of small there, we can go ahead and use our chain nose pliers, these guys here, to help us complete that loop. And then we can sneak in with our flush cutters and trim off that excess wire, and we can just kind of set that aside. So now you can see that that's how we created all these little baubles here. Now the next thing we want to do is we are going to do a little strand sort of pattern. So I'm going to go and I'm going to alternate each one up and down because they're a little bit different size. You can see that the blue one there is a little bit more rounded and the purple one is a little flatter. So what I'm going to do is just kind of create this little chain link that goes all the way across there, and we're just going to link them all together. Now I may have a few extras here. I wasn't quite sure that the size this was going to be, but let's go ahead and start. And the easiest part here is just opening and closing these little loops. So you're going to do it just as though you would a jump ring there. So go ahead and just open that little loop, and we're just going to slide it on to one of our loops of that slide clasp, and just go ahead and close that up. Now, there are a couple tricks to getting this right. The first thing I want to point out is that you're going to want to make your loops a little bit loose. So you can see here I have a nice loose one. Oh, it's actually already opened, which is perfect. I want to make my loops a little loose because I want to give those coins a little bit of area to slide around. I think it'll be nice if they can kind of twist over and turn. If you want, you can make it nice and solid, but I like the idea of kind of having them be a little bit freer to do their own thing. So just moving down the line. Now you can go one for one, or you can do what I'm doing here is just going the length. Now, if you only wanted to do one strand of this, you can absolutely do that. You can also do a triple strand. We have triple strand of these slide clasps, so it's a really easy thing to do. So I'm going to continue to add these, and I just want to show you. So you can do it that method, like so, just kind of linking them all up and down on one side, or you can go kind of one for one here, and we can do one here on the bottom. Just going to loop that through and close this guy up here. There we go. So now I can continue kind of going along this side. Now, if you look, you'll notice that those little beads are going to kind of bump into each other towards the end. Now, this is where that little sizing is going to come in handy, because you can go a little bit looser with your sizing, or you can go a little bit tighter so that they're going to really separate on the wrist. And I'll show you what I mean once we get a little bit closer here to the end, and I can kind of put it on my wrist and show you. But I'm just going to continue to link these guys up here, and I will be right back to show you what happens towards the end. All right, so I have linked up all of my little beads there, and you can see that it's a really nice size. And just so that you can tell, I just want to set my ruler down here so that you can see nice and easily. So this is going to give you about a 7-inch bracelet. So you can just see how many beads I've used here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that will give you about 7 inches. So let's go ahead and finish this up. So what I'm going to do is just slide that off and kind of bring that over here, making sure that my clasp is facing the right way, because I want to absolutely make sure that we're not going to end up twisted here. And I'm just going to slide that on, make sure it goes onto the top loop there. And I'm going to go ahead and close that up. And then I'm going to come to this one on the bottom here and repeat that, adding it to that second loop there, and go ahead and close that up. So here's what I mean when it's about sizing. So when you see it worn on the wrist, they do actually lay pretty flat. So you can keep that together. Now you'll notice that the two in the back can go right kind of on top of each other there, but one might slip underneath. So don't worry about that. I'm just going to clasp this onto my wrist, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like when I have it on. Okay, so this is what our finished piece looks like on, and you can see that it can kind of slide up and over some of those little some of those little beads there. So this is it really tight on my wrist. You can see that it's not moving. Now, you have an opportunity there to either do some extra loops. You can also add little jump rings here to expand that ever so slightly if you don't want to add the length of 2 extra beads. So you have some options there. But this is how it wears if you have the 10 beads for about a 6.5 to a 7-inch wrist. So I hope this was helpful for you for sizing, but it's a really fun little project, and you can do it with lots of different coin beads. Thank you so much for watching. You'll find this full tutorial and even more tutorial videos by heading over to Beadaholique.com.